Right now, while you're in the treatment room doing what you do best, someone is calling your clinic and your receptionist is answering that call. You have no idea what they're saying, and there's a very good chance that call just walked out the door. Before we get into this, a quick note. What you're watching is my AI clone. I use it to deliver my content consistently while I'm in the field working with clinic owners. The thinking, the experience, the frameworks, all mine. 20 years, 9 clinics. The clone delivers it. The thinking is real. I want to tell you about a pattern I've seen in clinic after clinic, and it goes like this. The owner is running ads, Google Ads, Facebook, Google Business Profile, leads are coming in. On paper, the marketing is working, but the bookings aren't showing up. So what happens? The owner blames the agency. The agency says the leads are cheap. The receptionist says the customers are just price shopping, and everyone goes around in a circle. What nobody does is listen to the actual phone calls. And here's the thing, when you do listen, what you hear changes everything. The receptionist is guessing, nobody trained them, nobody gave them a script, nobody told them what the goal of a phone call actually is. So they do what feels natural. They answer the questions. The customer asks about pricing, they give the pricing. The customer asks about the treatment, they explain the treatment. They do the entire consultation over the phone, and by the time the call ends, the customer has everything they came for. There's no reason to come in. That's not a lead quality problem. That's a phone system problem. Quick question. Do you actually know what your receptionist says when a new inquiry calls? Not what you've told them to say, what they actually say. Drop your honest answer below. The primary job of a receptionist on an inbound inquiry call is not to answer questions. It is to book the consultation. That's it. That's the whole goal. It starts with the owner, and I say this not as a criticism. I've seen it in my own clinics. The owner never defined what a good call looks like. They hired someone pleasant, put them on the front desk, and hope for the best. So the receptionist does what any reasonable person would do when a customer starts firing questions. They answer them, helpfully, thoroughly, in detail. And in doing so, they eliminate every reason that customer has to come through the door. What most owners don't realize is the receptionist isn't being lazy or careless. They just don't have a system. And without a system, they improvise. And improvisation on an inbound inquiry costs you thousands of pounds a week in lost bookings. Here's what happens on a typical unscripted inbound call. Customer calls, says, "How much is laser hair removal?" Receptionist answers, gives the full price list, explains the treatment, talks through the number of sessions, maybe mentions a promotion. The customer says thank you very much and hangs up. The customer got what they needed, the clinic got nothing. And the worst part, the receptionist thinks they did a good job. They were helpful. They answered every question. They just didn't book anything. A good call looks completely different, and it starts with one move, interrupting the customer, not rudely, warmly. The moment the customer starts firing questions, the receptionist takes control. "Of course, could I just take your name first?" That one question changes the entire dynamic of the call. Now the receptionist is leading. Now they can follow the script. They ask, "Have you done laser before?" They start building rapport. They find out what the customer actually needs, and then, instead of giving a price, they do something different. They create a reason to come in. Because every treatment is personalized, it's really difficult to give an accurate price over the phone. We'd love to have you in for a free consultation with one of our specialists. Are you free this afternoon? Or would tomorrow work better for you? The customer came in wanting a price. They're leaving with an appointment. In other words, the script doesn't withhold information to be difficult. It redirects the conversation toward the outcome that actually serves the customer, a proper in-person assessment, while protecting the clinic's conversion rate. In one of the clinics I worked with, we were sitting at a 15% call-to-consultation conversion rate. 15%. That means 85 out of every 100 inbound calls were going nowhere. We put call recording in place, every inbound call tracked to each client. We listened back. We built a detailed phone script. We trained the team on it, and anytime we heard the script wasn't being followed, we sent it back to them and had them practice again. Conversion rate went from 15% to 60%. Thousands of pounds a week in bookings that had previously been lost started showing up. Not because the leads got better, not because the ads changed, because the phone got answered properly. And I want to be clear about something. You cannot blame the receptionist for this. The receptionist was doing exactly what they'd been set up to do, which is nothing in particular. The owner never gave them a system. That's on the structure, not the person. If you're listening to this and you don't know, Write now what your receptionist says when a new inquiry calls. That's the starting point. Get call recording in place, listen to 10 calls. You'll know within an hour where the leak is. And if you want to understand all the places your clinic might be leaking revenue, not just on the phone, I put together a free PDF that covers 7 of the most common structural leaks I find across the clinics I work with, thousands of pounds a month, slipping out through gaps the owner doesn't even know exist. Link is below. Download it. It's free. One question. If I asked you right now what your receptionist says to a new inquiry on the phone, could you tell me? Drop your answer below. It tells you everything about where your clinic is structurally. The clone delivers it. The thinking is real.